need a challenge in my life, so I've decided to try and recreate some Valve VR magic. My only limitation is that I will only have 24 hours to work on it. Now, I'm not crazy, I'm not staying up all night. The video game industry is already full of crunch, so why would I do that to myself? I'm just gonna be clocking in 24 hours on this project and publishing whatever comes out. The game is gonna be based off a mini game found in Valve's VR labs. It's an archery game that is incredibly well polished and is one of my first experiences I had when I tried out VR. Now, I've already made a bow and arrow in the past, so I'm sure that this is going to be a piece of cake, and I won't have any issues importing my old bow and using it with the new version of the XR Interaction Toolkit. No issues at all. It won't eat up a good majority of my time. Starting off, let's see what I'm trying to recreate. We have ourselves a nice looking bow and arrow. We have some little dudes trying to invade a castle, multiple waves of enemies spawning, and they follow a certain pathway. It looks like if they reach the gate, they attack it. Yeah, nothing overly complicated, but there's gonna be plenty to cover in just 24 hours. Now, for this project, I am going to be using Unity's VR template that they already provide, just so I have a foundation and can get a head start. Starting off is always the easiest, or the hardest depending on my mood. Shut up, brain. Just build some things. I've slapped together a bunch of blocks to create a battlefield, a castle, and a gate. And I'm gonna make sure they're all set to static so I won't butcher my performance later, and everything is great, but you know what? It looks like a kind of castle and a little battleground area, so not bad. Also threw in some terrain and then made some mountains in the background. Yeah, things are starting to look like a thing. I am making shapes. I've made shape. We are starting off very strong. Next up, I want to make an enemy that follows a waypoint system, which is shockingly not too bad. It looks like this guy is working how I want him to work for now. And I think how I'm going to manage the waves is by using scriptable objects to store all the wave data. All right, we got wave data going. We got some waypoints and checkpoints. Next, I'm going to build up the UI, make a little gate health bar thing. Yeah, this is coming together nicely. I knew this one would be easy. I knew this would be an easy challenge. Now that I have like a gate health and I got enemies spawning that can attack it, I want to import my bow and arrow from my previous project, and I'm sure I'll have to fix some things, but it shouldn't be that bad. Okay, the arrow isn't working. I don't know why the arrow's not working, but I will look in. I'm sure I just goofed up the code. It's been a long time. I've gotten better. Yeah, no, it's not colliding. I'll fix this collider here. I am sure I can get this to work in no time. Okay, the arrow is working. My enemies are spawning, and now I should be able to pick up the bow, and I cannot pick up the bow. Alright, back to the drawing board. Alrighty, I fixed some colliders. I'm sure it should be fine now, and I can still not pick up the bow. Okay. Alright, it is fixed this time. There is no doubt in my mind it's fixed. I should 100% be able to pick up the bow, and I can. Why the hell is it so offset? Have I become entirely stupid? Everything is breaking, everything is on fire. So I've gobbled up about 12 hours of work time so far, but you know what? At least the bow and arrows work. Now I am, if anything, a visual shrimp, and this game is not looking too hot right now. So it's time to make things a little pretty, and I'm gonna start with the enemies. It's currently a cylinder, which cool, but what if we use a different model instead of a cylinder? Now, I've released these ghost models on my Patreon for any of my patrons. You should go and check out my Patreon if you want to support me. Thank you so much. But I think I'm going to use these ghosts in this game and kind of make it like we built a castle on a cemetery and we have to defend ourselves against the ghosts. Okay, first things first, we will just slap these models in here, put it on the cylinder, we'll hug the mesh for the cylinder, and we'll see what it looks like. And they are moving, and they are not rotating, because of course they're not rotating. I didn't program that. Okay, well that's an easy fix. I'll just normalize the move direction based on the position it's moving to, and then I will give it a good old slurp and rotate it in that direction. Hey, look at that, they're turning. I am a genius like I always knew I was. It's time to animate. Let's make him float. Look at him float. He's floating. That's floating. No, it looks like the ghosts are thwomping themselves into the ground. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a layer on them so they don't collide with each other. Easy. Well, I've gobbled up an hour or so making the ghost work. I think I want to start adding some color to this and some materials. The castle, I don't know how I feel about this texture. You know, maybe I want something a little more simple, make it very, very cartoony. This might be too much. Screw it. You know what? I'm gonna paint the rest of the scene, add a bunch of grass onto all of the blocks, maybe add a trail with a little brown in it and stone as well. And I might use the stone for the castle later. We'll see how it all looks when I put all of this in. Montage, fast speed, boom, 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 boom. I also want to add some tombstones in this, and I'm going to try and use Pro Builder. I've never really used it before, but I've heard it's a powerful tool. And trying it out for this project so far, it has been really, really cool. I just have no idea what I'm doing, and I am screwing this up a little bit, even with simple tombstones. I really need to work with this tool more. I think it's something I want to dive into and maybe do some tutorials on, because I can see this being incredibly powerful for prototyping. I mean, I'm no modeler, but Pro Builder looks like it holds your hands very well when you're trying to make some simple prototyping and gray boxing. Look at this. I already have a little cross cemetery thingy, and I have a very nice looking tombstone over here, so thanks, Pro Builder. I will say the incorporation of Pro Builder into Unity 6 is a little wonky, but you know what? Growing pains. Alright, well, I kind of wasted a little time with Pro Builder, but I've worked about 16 hours and got a little distracted having fun making those models. I should have enough time to wrap this all up. I'm gonna add some lighting next, and then finish connecting a few things. Now it's time to do some lighting, and I always love doing lighting, and I think for this we're doing ghosts. Why not make it dark purpley? Yeah, just a nighttime purple. Alright, I don't know what's going on, but every time I go and bake the light, it seems to be getting stuck. I mean, last time it said it was going to take 34 minutes. I had to close out of the whole program. What is going on? It looks like my version of Unity 6 likes to freeze up during baking. That's very exciting. Alright, I've downloaded a new version of Unity and had to import it all or convert it to the new version of Unity and rebake things, but things are working now. Now, I want this ghost to look a little more ghosty. I'm gonna try making it emissive and maybe play with the surface type, make it transparent because, you know, it's a ghost. And it's still not looking good enough. Maybe change this to additive. Yeah, that is a ghosty looking ghost. Well, the whole lighting debacle and having to get a new version of Unity has bumped me up to about 20 hours worked on this project. I have 4 hours to make my lighting look impeccable, make everything else work, and have something out before all of this is over. Am I as optimistic as I was at the start? No. I decided to add Adaptive Pro volumes into it. Not that I really need it for this, but you know what? I need the practice, so why not? Even though I'm running out of time, this is probably dumb. I shouldn't have done this. Hey, you know what? And another distraction for me, I just tried out the writer IDE for this project, and I gotta say, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. They should sponsor me. Hey, JetBrains, if you want to sponsor me, I will do this product placement for you. All right, timing is getting really tight here, but things are coming together. These ghosts are attacking the gate, and when it dies, the game will reset, and then I could start it with an arrow. Boop. This is working. The game loop is working. Just some last minute touches here, add some background music, and maybe a few more sound effects here and there, just to soak up these last few hours that I have, the final polish. And with time almost up, I think I have an almost good enough game. Honestly, I don't have any more time. I need to build out this APK. I'm gonna give it a genius name like Polter Bolter, build out the APK, and get this launched. Now, overall, I think I've done okay with this challenge to myself. I definitely got distracted by trying out too many new things, but I'm not that disappointed. This is very similar to how the Valve one plays. Obviously, I would like to have hands in the scene and then also custom grabbing onto the bow, more polish here and there, fix up some of the lighting a little more just because I love playing with that, maybe animate the UI, but this is not bad for 24 hours of work. If you guys want to try this game out, you can find it on itch, and I think I really like this foundation of a project that I've built. So after the holidays, I'm going to be releasing this full project on my Patreon, and also going to be doing some custom tutorials around it so I can show and explain what I've done and how I've done it. Hope you all enjoyed this little challenge that I've given to myself. I hope to see you all in the new year. Enjoy your holidays, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!